In my last video I covered Cepha in the north of Bristol, and this time it's going to be about our boy Andy Council in the south. This guy has talent, perspective, and is a top class kind of guy. He is super nice and his work is complex and detailed as it is nice. A myriad of amazing pieces and a plethora of pieces on the streets to keep us in awe when walking around Bristol. Andy Council is clearly a top tier option and one whose work is loved by all generations, and especially by the older crowd that I found, especially in the pub I work. They view it as pure inside kind of work, like gallery exhibition kind of art, which is completely great, because this is a pub where some people view Upfest as a live vandalism festival, so you gotta kind of take that W, man. Calling Upfest a live vandal festival only makes it sound way more cool anyways. I mean, wouldn't you want to go to a live vandalism festival? Come on. I think Andy is dualistic, like most Bristol street artists, in the way that his work is great on permission walls and commercial avenues, but then also mixed with graffiti letters for the other side of the scene. Forget about it. It is absolutely incredible. It seems to just merge the worlds of art and graffiti together nicely. Our boy Andy Council. Just check out this horse. This is my favourite piece by him. This is truly incredible. You have like the city ground, you have the suspension bridge, you have what I believe to be the tobacco factory, you have these really iconic places all around. Kind of Bedminster, but Hotwells and a bit Clifton to the suspension bridge, but it's real local spots to me, so every time I see this piece I'm just in awe. And I love saying that word because that's how Andy leaves me, man. He leaves me in awe. If you don't think his designs and his styles are king level, then I don't even know. I feel like it would be the same as looking at a Dali and saying, yeah, but I can't actually read the time. The pieces always consist of two things, one being a creature, an animal or a beast of some kind, and then the others being the pieces that make up the creature, like buildings and especially Bristol landmarks. And if you're not from Bristol, it's easy to not see the Bristol locations and landmarks, but with some time here you'll start to see those. Or even better, you could look at Andy's work and then go and see the spots in Bristol. But it's quite simply the talent that it takes to make this just eludes me. At first I was calling him the Dragon Man, and I'm so glad that I've seen the rest of his work, because I can't define him by a single animal. That's just not fair. You mean? Just look at these pieces. You can taste the freshness through the screen. The pieces in the piece are truly Bristolian, and he never sacrifices the bigger picture either for these little pieces. The shading rocks, the proportion supports everything, the idea and it works incredibly, the execution is perfect. And it just always makes me happy to see his work. I mean, that's the main thing. I'm always in a good way, in a positive way, after leaving his pieces. The very meaning of vibrant. There is no one else like him on the market or in the streets for that matter. Bristol, like most cities, have a coat of arms or a crest, not to be confused with Nick Walker's piece on Park Street, but an insignia for the city. Bristol should be created by Andy to flex our flavour around the UK. Every other city has a plain Jane classic but boring one. We could be out here flexing our flavour. He has worked with Upfest a lot, and he's worked a lot on construction boards, and the act of making an ugly building site into pretty little numbers is wonderful. The colours are beautiful, and a lot of the trees have an autumn colour and shading feel. I often found autumn to be one of the most fantastic times of year, especially for this reason. What would be next level would be if Andy and Lego hooked up and made a Tyrannosaurus Rex or a Stegosaurus in Lego. So painted blocks in an area of the UK like Liverpool or London for the smaller bits, and then the bigger bit would be the dinosaur. I'm telling you now, that would sell. It would sell faster than raw rolling papers. I'm telling you now. His website is really professional and the layout works really well, so as you enter you're greeted with his works, and then you can rotate to the shop and the contact section. He is open for commissions and he has really dope prints, so go check them out, and there's typical, complex and magnificent style. Also there's an original piece of style which is one to mention. I mean, that any budding collector, I'm sure you can go and grab a piece. All in all, it's a great website with some really cool products worth checking out, and I imagine anywhere, but in my mind, I think what a piece would work really well in, like an area or a space, it's got to be an office, like whether it be all four walls or just a big piece. I think it would definitely encourage and inspire the workers. His body of work has also been covered and reviewed by art blogs and websites, along with news publications, which is great to have an artist in the street and in the art world. Bringing light to the scene and working with the godfather graffiti writers like Sokum and Soccer is also a killer move. He's one of the first people, if not the first person I've covered, that actually has a Wikipedia page as well, so he's an established artist in that respect. I found an interview with him as well, which I'll include below. There's two, but one's a bit more in depth. He's active on social media as well, on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. He's really friendly, so if you have any questions, I'm sure if you pose them, he will respond to. And it was on Instagram I found this. I haven't found a time lapse yet, so it's something that I'd love to be involved in filming, kind of like a before and after of just one of his pieces coming to life. Be sure to follow him on the gram, and it will definitely light your feed up. I mentioned earlier that he's the South Bristol artist, and while he has lots of works outside of the area, I found most of the collection in this video in the south of Bristol. I read in an interview that he does a lot of work in London, so it suggests that he's willing to travel to get a great piece out. What is dope about the buildings that Andy has hit up is like schools, houses, stores, boards, pubs, so it shows the mass appeal that he has. It isn't just one group of people that seems to love him. Whether it be a big or a small spot, Andy comes with that fire and a big Bristol vibes to illuminate any wall or space. Again, it's a stamp of authenticity for a business of Bristol to have one of his pieces. It just kind of gives a strong local feel to any establishment. So here we have the man, the legend, the one, the only, Mr. Andy Council. I hope I showed you some pieces if you know him and you liked him, and you know what I mean, if you want to see some more of his works. And if you don't know him, I hope I've managed to enlighten you to his work, and you can go and check him out on social media. Be sure to go follow him as well, because again, what can crop up is just mind-blowing. So yeah, thank you for watching the video. Subscribe if you haven't. If you've managed to get this far, you got a sub, because there's going to be another one coming out, and it's going to be Cheo next. That's in the editing right now. But I appreciate you watching, and have a good day, guys. Cheers.